Let me ask you something. What if the next voice you hear isn't actually human? We're about to dive into the world of AI and synthetic speech. It's a technology that honestly feels like it's pulled straight from a sci-fi movie, but it's happening right now. And it is absolutely fascinating, incredibly powerful, and, well, frankly, it's a little terrifying.
Just let that sink in for a second. Your voice, the one you're hearing in your head right now, it's supposed to be your unique identifier, right? A fundamental part of who you are. But that's all changing. And believe me, it is changing fast.
And this isn't some abstract what-if scenario. This kind of scam is already a reality. Imagine getting that call, a perfect clone of a loved one's voice, full of real panic, real emotion. And it's all designed to hijack your most basic instinct, trust. It's creating this chilling new world where hearing just isn't believing anymore. So, the big question is how? How can a machine copy a human voice so perfectly that it can fool a son or a daughter, or even a sophisticated security system? To get that, we need to pop the hood and look at how this synthetic engine actually works. Okay, so the core technology here is AI-powered voice synthesis. And we are not talking about that clunky robotic voice you hear on your GPS. No. We're talking about AI systems that can listen, learn, and then generate speech that is pretty much indistinguishable from a real person. It all starts with something we're all pretty used to by now. Text-to-speech. Like Siri or Alexa. That's the basic building block. It's the engine that takes written words and just turns them into audio. But that's just the first step. See, it's a process with a few different layers. You start with that basic text-to-speech. Then, AI comes in and can clone a specific person's voice from just a tiny audio sample. After that, you layer on something called prosody. That's the natural rhythm, the cadence, the intonation of human speech. But the final layer, this is the one that's a real game changer, emotion. The AI can actually inject feelings like happiness or anger or fear, making the fake voice terrifyingly real. Now you can probably imagine all the incredible, positive things this tech could be used for. But when that same power gets turned around, when it's used to deceive, well, then your voice and the trust people have in it becomes a vulnerability. It becomes a weapon.
And this brings us to a term you'll hear more and more: the weaponization of trust. It's a chillingly perfect description, isn't it? It's exactly what that fake call from your mom is. It's taking the faith we put in a familiar voice and turning it into a tool for fraud and manipulation. Just look at the difference here, side by side. Your actual voice is like a fingerprint. It's a unique biometric, a bedrock of trust. A synthetic clone, though, it can be copied 1,000,000 times over. It's a tool for deception. One secures who you are. The other is literally designed to get around that security. And this isn't just theory. Here's how it's being used out in the wild today. We've got the scam calls, of course, but what about an AI assistant that sounds so much like you it can fool your friends? Or criminals using a clone of your voice to get past your bank security? And then there's the big one, creating fake audio of a public figure saying something they never, ever said, just to cause chaos. This isn't a problem for tomorrow, it's a problem for right now.
This whole thing goes way beyond just individual scams. It's forcing all of us to deal with a massive shift in how we even understand reality.
And that really brings us to the core question of all this. I mean, if you can't trust what you hear with your own ears, then what happens to our idea of identity? How can anyone really give consent? And what on earth does the word truth even mean anymore? What we're seeing is the breakdown of one of the most fundamental pillars of human communication. For all of history, hearing someone's voice was solid proof. It was real. Now, that proof is getting wobbly. The very foundation of trust we've built our entire society on is starting to show some serious cracks.
Okay, so that sounds pretty bleak. I get it. But this is not the end of the story. Because just as quickly as this threat is growing, so are the ways we're learning to fight back.
The best way to think about this is like a technological arms race. For every new trick the offense comes up with to create deepfakes, you've got researchers and security experts on the other side working on new ways to detect them. The defense is definitely playing catch-up, but it's coming.
And two of the most exciting defenses are things called watermarking and voice proofing. So think of watermarking as like a hidden digital signature that's embedded in real audio to prove it's authentic. And voice proofing is a whole set of tools designed to analyze a voice and figure out, was this made by a person or by a machine? It's really about building a new kind of digital forensics for the age of AI.
So all of this leaves us with one last really critical question. As this technology becomes more and more common, who actually gets to own and control our most personal biological identifier? Your voice is part of what makes you, you. The challenge for all of us now is to make sure it stays that way.